let's just start. Welcome again to our 20th community call. Time flies. It's the 14th of July, 2023. And I'm Lut, or the Jesus Crust on Twitter, doing business development on Crust side. As usual, let's jump into our current status of our network metrics. Currently just above 1,600 individual nodes. Storage capacity a little bit below 700,000 terabytes. We had some minus shifting capacities. Some of them still have to add their outgoing capacities. And our mainnet is now in operations for 22 months. This also means we are approaching our 2-year mainnet, which means also that we have some slight changes in our tokenomics. For example, that we have a reduced inflation from the blockchain emissions, which hopefully will also lower a little bit the sell pressure on the token side. Currently there are 28.6 million tokens circulating. I just want to mention that one more time. Some of our community often ask us what's about the CoinGecko, the CoinMarketCap supply. We provided them with the APIs, but somehow on their end, they calculate the circulating supply a little bit different. If you want to have the real numbers, go to Subscan Crust. There you can get full numbers, how many tokens are staked, how many are circulating, and so on. And that's so far to our network status. Let's look at what we're working on. And if you followed our Twitter channels and our Telegram closely, then you probably already noticed that we are working, especially on the technical side, to release the new Crust Network Protocol 2.0, which makes us fully compatible and ready to serve as EVM storage. We already deployed our cross-chain smart contracts before this to Ethereum, to many other EVM chains, Arbitrum, you know it. But we still had to rely on some kind of a semi-centralized listener solution to push the storage orders from the source chain to our mainnet, where the actual service will be handled. And with this EVM solution, we have now a fully native, decentralized Web3 native way for all developers on Ethereum, but also on all those layer 2 solutions to leverage Crust as storage service. And we also uploaded already the light paper for this EVM storage protocol. So when you visit our homepage, under the document section where you find our normal white paper and our economic white paper, you will also find there now the EVM storage protocol light paper. So feel free to check it out. It's well explained, and I hope that makes it clear for you. So in the first step, we're going to deploy our new versions of our contracts to Ethereum, Arbitrum, and Polygon. And with this step, we're also going to add support for zkSync and for Optimism. Obviously, there will be way more layer 2s following in the future. For example, the newly released Polygon ZK EVM or Scroll or many other L2s that are on the horizon, and Crust will be ready for it. And by having our EVM compatibility and our EVM focused protocol, it's very easy for us to deploy our solution natively to all EVM chains, and we will make use out of that heavily in the future. And as you can see, we follow more an approach of an omni-chain vision. Not that we're going to move away from the Polkadot ecosystem, but we interpret Crust as like an omni-chain protocol which provides its services for the entire Web3 ecosystem. And we want to do that now also as heavily on the EVM side as we did on the Polkadot side before. Then we launched a new campaign with one of our close partners from Apilon. Maybe a lot of you might know Apilon. It's like a dev tooling platform that is using Crust Network for their decentralized storage use cases. And we just recently announced a campaign during Polkadot Decoded. It's the Web3 approved campaign, where we want to encourage and incentivize builders, Web3 projects to finally practice what we preach and to host their website in a totally decentralized way. We already do this best practice way of hosting your website via for Uniswap, for Avi that pin their front ends via Crust Network. And we want to invite many more of them to make use out of this, because we have decentralization on the protocol layer, on the execution layer, but we don't have it yet often on the infrastructure layer. And in order to achieve full-scale decentralization, it's definitely needed to also host your web or your front end totally decentralized. And this realizes a lot of different benefits. For example, it's censorship resistance, it's unstoppable, you can't take it down. It reduces any kind of single point of failure events. It enhances the security, reduces the risk for security front-end breaches like DDoS attacks, DNS hijack attacks, and much more. And yeah, we want our fellow Web3 projects to make use out of this. And yeah, we incentivize this. So for the very first 100 projects that join this campaign, we're going to provide 100 years of free website hosting. We even built with Apelon a nice GitHub action where projects easily can create a pull request and we will just accept it. So it's super easy onboarding process and integration process. If you know some people who are looking for decentralized ways of hosting a web page or have their own Web3 project, it can be a landing page, can be the front end of a decentralized application, can be anything crypto and Web3 related. Feel free to hook them up with us and scan the QR code or, just let them know that we have this campaign and spread the news. And we secured a very cool partnership, which is with Tencent Cloud. And in specific, we joined the Tencent Cloud Startup Project program. This program is there to help startups or smaller projects with financial support, with their network, with marketing opportunities, and much more. And Tencent is, I think the second largest cloud provider in China and Asia. And this is right up our alley. And we would love we are looking forward to a very close collaboration with Tencent. Then we also did some collaborations within our Polkadot ecosystem. In this case, for example, together with Equilibrium and other chains. But in this case, Equilibrium is leading the proposal to actually develop a common ledger app for all parachain assets to finally get our tokens supported by Ledger, hardware wallet. There is a proposal right now. I think it went live just recently. We also held a Twitter space with an AMA where we described the proposal, what we want to achieve with it, why we think it's the best way to do it this way. So it will be interesting to see, but I think Ledger support is very needed. Just on the technical and business development side, we have been very busy and successful last month, while also on the community side, we had our hands full. So example, in the US, we are currently joining an event series, the Polkadot San Francisco event series, which is organized by Crust Network and by other projects like Moonbeam, Oak, and Gear. And Crust recently hosted our own event on the 29th of June, where we presented our technology, our use cases to the crypto community in San Francisco. And there will be more events following. Then we also joined a offline event in Shanghai, which was the Nautilus and Stanford Blockchain Hackathon tour, where we basically stood by as a decentralized storage solution which hackers could be leveraging and where we could educate people about decentralized storage. So that also was a very successful event for us. We also released our latest tutorial. So maybe you already checked out our first two tutorials. This is episode 3 now, and it quickly describes how to pin your NFT metadata to Crust network. This is not just targeted towards NFT creators and NFT projects, but also to end users. So, for example, to own an NFT that's already hosted on IPFS, but let's say it's hosted on Pinata, which still is some kind of centralized service. You can just take this CID number, which is the URL basically for this NFT metadata, which you find on OpenSea, for example, and create a storage order on Crust network to make sure that you have like an additional redundancy guaranteed by a decentralized protocol because you, for example, don't trust Pinata as centralized operator. And yeah, this video basically shows you how to do it. It's very interesting, even for the smaller NFT holders that want to add an additional layer of security. And last but not least, we joined the largest event on the Polkadot side, which is the flagship event Polkadot Decoded. This year it took part in Copenhagen. Last community call, we already announced that we will be involved with different kind of events. And yeah, now I brought some pictures. So for example, we co-hosted the opening night, the Polkadot Decoded opening night, with Fala, Apilon, Astar, and organized by Web0. And you see in the picture, it was really packed and crowded. There were still a lot of people standing outside. I think we booked it for 150 people. In the end, there were over 250 showing up. So really high interest. We had the chance for a small pitch to present it. And I had the chance to talk to a lot of people about Crust Network, about decentralized storage, and was super insightful. Yeah, then we obviously also joined the main conference. It was a really cool location. As usual, Polkadot always good with that. We also had a keynote speech where we talked about the role of decentralized storage, especially in regards to data ownership in Web3. This talk is now online on YouTube. So if you just Google or put in YouTube data ownership with decentralized storage, you will find it immediately. Feel free to share it, to watch it for more information about why decentralized storage is so important. And yeah, it was a great opportunity to share what we're doing with the broader ecosystem. Okay. Not all. We also joined some more side events. For example, we joined the on-chain fund with Web3 social apps event, where we took part in a panel discussion talking about the role of decentralized storage in the niche of decentralized social, because especially there we have a lot of content, a lot of user data, and the ownership issue is still not solved yet there. And we also had our booth in the showcase section, where we were able to talk to people that were interested in decentralized storage. We had a lot of interesting conversations, and I can assure you, decentralized physical infrastructure and the decentralized storage overall is coming strongly. And I'm very convinced it will be a very strong narrative for the next bull run. So thank you guys. That was my monologue from my side. If there are still some questions, I have a follow-up appointment in 10 minutes, but yeah, I would be still available for a couple of questions if there are some. Thank you guys. Oh, and you also can write your question in the chat if you don't want to speak. Okay, I guess no questions. And yeah, then I guess let's call it a day for today. And